This video will explain the difference between adjectives and adverbs. So what I will be doing is sharing a short story that I have created, and in that story there are lots of adjectives and adverbs. This is what I would like you to keep in mind while I am reading. Adjectives go with nouns, and remember, nouns are people, places, and things. Now adverbs, there are more choices when you have adverbs. Adverbs can go with verbs, and verbs, a lot of people think about verbs as being action words. Please keep in mind, however, that that isn't the only way to think about verbs. Earlier in this video series, I shared a number of different videos about verbs. Check those out if you would like to know more information. So, adverbs go with verbs, adverbs go with adjectives, and adverbs go with other adverbs. Before I start reading the story, I would just like to point out that the adjectives are pink and the adverbs are green. So let me read the story, and then I will go through each adjective and each adverb. The children are awake, and they are laughing loudly. Their father is annoyed, and he will tell them to go to sleep shortly. The father must wake up early in the morning for a meeting at his new job. He needs a good sleep, or tomorrow will be a long and tiring day. Okay. I just wanted to look at the first two adjectives, awake and annoyed, right? So with awake, we see the children are awake. If you look back to a video on verbs that I created for the verb to be, you will understand how this verb are, that's the verb, is from the verb to be, and you can use the verb to be to describe people, places, and things, right? So that's a big hint. If you see that verb, you've probably got an adjective. Well, not probably. You could have an adjective. And their father is being described too, right? Their father is annoyed. So they are awake, he is annoyed. And then let's look at the first two adverbs. We have loudly and shortly. Often, but not always, adverbs will end in ly, in the letters L and Y, like loudly and shortly. And in both of these cases, we have a verb that goes with the adverb. So, how they're laughing, loudly. Well, it's sort of actually when, right? When he tells them to go to sleep, right? So that verb, the verb to tell, is being used with the adverb shortly. And when you use tell, you usually tell someone to do something, or you could tell someone about someone else, or tell someone about something. But in this case, right, he's telling someone to do something. The father is telling he will tell the children to be quiet, and he's doing that telling shortly, right? Okay, continuing on. So the father must wake up early. So he has to wake up early. That action of waking up has to be done early. And let's look at the last four. They're all adjectives. We have a new job, a good sleep, and then a long, tiring day. New, good, long, tiring. New describes the job, good describes the sleep, and then long and tiring describe the day that the father could have if the children aren't quiet. Alright, let me continue with the story. Remember, adjectives are pink, adverbs are green. The children hear their father's heavy footsteps as he walks very slowly down the long hallway. They stop laughing immediately and wait quietly to hear him speak firmly. He walks to the door. In a deep voice he says, "It is time to go to sleep." We have two adjectives in this paragraph. The footsteps are heavy. His voice is deep. So we have heavy footsteps and a deep voice. Both of those things are being described by those words. And then let's look at the adverbs. Okay, let's just take a look at this chart here. So we're talking about how the father walks very slowly. In this case, we have two adverbs. Slowly is an adverb and very is an adverb. Earlier I said that adverbs don't always have to end in ly, but often they do. So very is a good example of an adverb that does not end in ly. And then they would have to stop laughing, right? That action of stopping the laughter, that would have to happen immediately. And then they wait quietly, how they wait. And he, how he speaks firmly. You could speak firmly. Last page of my story. The children listen quite attentively and sit extremely quietly. The father is very happy with their reaction. He wearily walks back to his room. After 5 minutes, the children giggle softly, but they are too quiet for their father to hear. So, I wanted to share two more examples of two adverbs in a row. Right? We've got listen, and we got quite attentively. So both quite and attentively are adverbs. And then we have sit extremely quietly. So we have extremely and quietly. And you notice both listen and sit are verbs. So that action of listening is being done quite attentively. And that action of sitting is being done extremely quietly. Then the father is being described again. Remember that verb to be, right? Is, right? The father is. Now this is a little tricky. He is very happy. So what we have here is we have an adverb, very, and then right after that we have an adjective. So he's not just happy, right? And happy is, that describes him. That's an adjective, right? So we could just say that he is happy if we wanted to. But I wanted to emphasize just how happy he is. So I added the adverb very in front of happy. Okay, how he walks. He wearily walks. I mean, instead of saying he wearily walks, you could also say he walks wearily, right? But I changed the order of the words, and you can do that. So he wearily walks. And wearily is like saying tiredly, or maybe another word you could use would be sleepily, right? sleepily, sleepily. Be careful with that word, sleepily, right? If something is done sleepily, then you've got yourself an adverb. But if somebody is sleepy, sleepy, if somebody is sleepy, then you have an adjective, right? Sleepy is an adjective that could describe a person or a thing. I mean, a cat could be sleepy too, right? Okay, so he wearily walks back to his room. After 5 minutes, here's another good tip here. We've got the number 5. Numbers are adjectives. If you have a number, it's an adjective. The children giggle. How they giggle? Softly. We have that verb giggle with the adverb softly. And then we have another case. Remember I showed you his father is very happy, where we had an adverb with an adjective. And here we have another adverb with an adjective. They are too quiet for their father to hear. So quiet is an adjective. That's how they are, right? But to, T-O-O, notice T-O-O. T-O-O is an adverb, right? Another word that you could use, it's not quite the same, but I mean, very would work there too, right? To is like saying they were so quiet that it was impossible for him to hear. They're too quiet for him to hear. So one more thing before I end this video. I want to remind you that there's a difference between the adjective quiet, Q-U-I-E-T, right, to describe the children in this story, right, Q-U-I-E-T, quiet, is an adjective, but quite, Q-U-I-T-E, right, as in listen quite attentively, or you could also say be quite quiet. That would be like saying be very quiet. Be quite quiet or be very quiet. So quite, Q-U-I-T-E, is an adverb. Well, I hope this video was helpful, and I look forward to the next one.